Hey, what's up YouTube? Boswell back with another video for the husband code. And today, man, this is a very special video for myself actually. And today's topic is definitely on budgeting, a little bit of financial literacy to the husbands out there or the men who are aspiring to be husbands. Now, quick backstory. When I was younger, I did not know how to control money. And a story on that is, when I was younger, I used to overdraft a lot. This one, I first kind of got my bank account. I would always go over like by $1 or something like that, and they would slap me with a $35 charge, and they would rack them up. So you go 2-3 transactions over into the negative, you might have $100 you got to pay back, and it was just so frustrating, and that I didn't know how to control my money, and I wasn't even conscious of even knowing where to start to get a hold of how to manage my money and control it. And so it got to the pinnacle of it was, I remember having my own apartment, and I had gas and electric. And one night the gas went out because I didn't pay the bill. And so it was in the middle of winter. I mean, freezing. And I remember having just a space heater. I had to run out to Walmart, get me a space heater for like $30. And what I had to do was I sat on the floor and I hugged the space heater with a blanket over me, just so it could try to stay warm, but it would suck in cold air, it would cut off, I would have to wait. And I didn't even go to sleep that night. And that was like the hiatus, the pinnacle of like the worst situation where I was like, I have to get a grip on managing my money. So I remember going to work either in the next week or whatever, and just telling my manager, one of the guys who really helped me through a lot of stuff when I was younger, about what happened. He was like, man, let's just sit down. I'm gonna show you how to budget. And the word budget, wasn't even in my vocabulary, at that stage in my life. So I didn't know what he meant. And so anyway, long story short, he set me down, and behind me, I'm gonna show y'all exactly on a very, very, very simple way of budgeting your money. And this is where it helped transform and change my life. And it actually helped save my life, because if not, I would probably be in so much debt right now, and just not being able to afford a house, and just, not be able to go to, vacations like New Zealand and Thailand, just because I didn't know how to save money or invest money. I didn't understand 401ks. I didn't understand credit. So this is a series I'm about to start unraveling to the men out there, because I know it's a lot of men that don't know how to budget. And I'm going to tell you the story why I know this. So another part of my career was I worked in finance for 5 years. I was a loan manager, and we would do things called signature loans or personal loans and things like that, where the only way to get these like small loans for anywhere from 500 up to 5,000, where you would have to have a certain amount of credit and a certain amount of income. And it was just very shocking and very surprising that some of the customers that came in, they would make $200,000 a year. But it may be an emergency that popped up. Like I remember a story where this guy worked for a finance tech company, making really good money, like $200,000 a year. But he didn't have $1,000 in his savings account. It was a death in the family. He had to fly to California, and so he was coming in just to borrow $2,500, and he make over $200,000 a year. And this over 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So he was making well off, but he did not know how to manage his finances. And so, it was a couple of people I was there, like, who I really felt connected to, some of my customers who I think was really looking for help to find their way out, to dig themselves out. And I remember sitting them down at a desk and just showing them the basic tools of money in versus money out. And so that's what I want to share with y'all today. And hopefully this will give y'all some really good insight, just to have a tool to start to gain control again. And so we're going to take a look at the board real quick. And so we're going to start it off. So this is just a basic budget. All right. Income versus expenses. Money in that you bring it into your pocket, right? That could be, you can count it as before tax, after tax. I like to look at it after tax, because that way you know exactly what you have in your pocket, right? And the expenses is money out, money that's leaving your pocket. So just look at it like that, money in versus money out, all right? So I came up with a short example on, someone who may be making like $50,000 a year, right? Let's say you grossing money before tax like $5,000 a month, after all the taxes or whatnot. And when the government get their hands on it, let's say you bring home about $3,500, right, a month. So you like, all right, and the reason, so hold on, before I even dig into it, the reason why it's so important to write this down on paper first before you start to go digital with it. Like me, I have a whole Excel spreadsheet that I'll share with you guys later once we start to build upon how to do a budget. The reason why it's so important to write it down, because when it's on paper, and this is what a lot of the aha moments came with a lot of my customers and clients beforehand. When you write it down on paper, it becomes real. It becomes real. There's no more of these fantasies about what you have and what you don't have. Man, did I spend money on this? Or I thought I had this much money coming in. All that go out the window. When you write it down on paper in black and white, you can no longer lie to yourself about what you have and what you don't have. And at that point, it's the most powerful thing to ever happen to you when it comes to finances. So look at this example and write it down on paper. All right. Look at the last month at your job, those last 4 paychecks, and add them up. What you got actually in your deposited in your account, whatever check you got cut, right? However that money came to your pocket, in your possession. Take those last 4 checks, because that's kind of your average, unless they don't change, right? You can take one if it doesn't change for the last 4 weeks, just keep it. But if they have fluctuated a little bit, take those last 4, and we're going to go off that. All right, so let's just say, again, you're making $50,000 a year. All right, after taxes, everything, in your pocket, you got $3,500, okay? Now, that's just money in. Now, you can have other things going on. Let's say you got a second job. You know, you're doing some apps, right? Instacart, Uber Eats, something like that, some type of side hustle. You can add that in here too, and that will add to the money coming in. But for again, just for this example, we're going to stick to the $3,500. Now, shifting over, look how long this list is. This is what most people got going on. These are expenses. Every time you get your paycheck, you got to pay these different expenses. So I gave the basic ones. So we got, like, let's say in an apartment, you got your rent, you got your phone bill, your car payment, you got your car insurance, your power bill, water bill, you got your internet, you got how much you pay on food, and this is a big one because this can fluctuate. And I'm actually going to put a star by that one. Let's say you got a gym membership. You got your personal items. Again, this one can fluctuate. It's like you need deodorant, you need tissue, you need toothpaste, right? Other, let's say you out at you want to get a soda, right? That's accounted for. Anything that's not kind of set in stone when it comes like rent and phone bills, that stuff that's reoccurring payments, right? You can count those to be the same. You can kind of forecast on how much that's coming out your check, because those typically don't change. Also, you got your health insurance. That now hopefully that may come out of those. If you got it through your job, that'll automatically come out for you, hopefully. But if you're paying it on the side, then we'll just put that in there. So all to say, when you add everything up, let's say you say, all right, here's the thing. When you're doing your expenses, don't lie. You can ballpark figure, let's say your phone bill like $124.90. Just say $125, right? Just round it up. If it's $97.50, just say $100. Just round it up. You don't have to be that detailed, but put everything you know you typically spend. And you may have to go to your bank transactions, right? If you like, man, I know most of us know what we spending our money on as far as consistent purchases, right? Consistent purchases. If you know you hit McDonald's every week, 4 or 5 times, McDonald's need to be a bill. You know what I'm saying? Put fast food on there, right? Chipotle, that's fast food. You know, put that as a category. Now, with your groceries, you'll put that on the food. But the point is, anything you spend money on, put it in this bracket here. Put it in this category of expenses. And that way you can track it. And again, if you're doing McDonald's at $10 every day of the week that you work 5 days a week, that's $50. Right? So you put that on here. So, but once you go through and comb through all your expenses, again, it may take a little time, but once you do it one time and you get it set up, you won't have to do it again. After that, you just change the numbers, but you'll know exactly what you're spending your money on. All right. So look, once you put everything here, you add it up. So just for this particular example, when you add up all the different bills, let's say your rent $1,500, your phone bill $100, car payment $800, insurance $250, so on and so forth, right? With your power bill, water bill. All right. So all in all, this gonna equal up to be $3,500. Okay. Now in your job after tax, what you taking home in your pocket is $3,500. So if you do the math, 35 minus 35, that's your money in versus money out. You left at zero. That's a good thing because you're not going into debt. You're not in the negative. All right? You're not in the negative. But here's the thing. Again, what if 1 month your water bill go up to $60 versus $50? Now you negative $10. You see what I'm saying? What if your power bill goes up to $100 from $70? That's an extra $30. So now you negative $40 in the hole. You get me? That those personal items, you know, maybe something happened where you had to go beyond your means to help somebody else out. Or the other category, I put it at $200. Again, the other could be, let's say you were dating a chick. Y'all went out to eat on a date, right? Maybe now you got another chick, you got two chicks. Now you at $300 versus $200, right? So now these expenses, let's say these expenses, instead of being $3,500, you at $4,000 now. But you only bringing in $3,500. You see what I'm saying? So now you negative. Hold on, let me get on this side. Yeah, so now, because you overspending, you know what I'm saying, on the chicks, you out here, you know, balling out. You ain't got it because you didn't track your money. Now you negative $500 for the month. So how you gonna make that up? Right? Either you gonna figure a way to go do some side gig, or you know what I'm saying, you got to find a way to cut something out going into next month. Or you got to borrow some money, now you going into debt. You see what I'm saying? So and so this is just a snapshot. And here's the thing. It's two things that's not even on here, and I saved it for this reason. All right. So I didn't put, which is one of the biggest things on your expenses, is paying yourself first. What is that called? Savings. Right? You have to save money for situations that come up like this. So you can do $100 a month. I mean, whatever you can do. You see your budget. So let's say your other category, $200, you taking chicks on a date that month. You may say, man, you know what? I can only take one of my girls out now versus two. You know what I mean? I can only spend $100 versus $200 on the chick now. But that'll free up you saving some money. You see what I'm saying? And so if you take the $100 a month that you're saving now, and at the end of the year you got $1,200. Now you can start to do something else, which you call investing, which is another video we'll talk about. But also another thing, hopefully, whatever job you at, you can do something called 401k and start looking at retirement. All right. And the good thing about 401k is based on your job, they may match you. They may match that money. So let's say you put in $50, the company may match you $50, and now you got $100 in your 401k versus the 50 you put in. But again, that's another video. But the most important one is the savings. You have to listen. You have to save money. You have to, because you can't come into a situation where you're in a hole because you wanted to go hard with some chick, or an emergency came up. It may not be you dealing with some chicken head, right? You might have just had a real life emergency come up. Your sister might have been in a situation where, hey, I need to borrow $500. You ain't even got $500. So now you going in a hole trying to help somebody else out. What happens if you need new brakes on your car? Right? What if you need an oil change or something like that? That's not even accounted for. That could be in the other category. Again, you don't need an oil change every month. What if you need new tires? You know? Yeah, so that's something to consider when you're looking at, you know, your income. You have to be on point with what you're spending. You have to be on point. Again, some of this stuff ain't gonna change, right? Your rent's not gonna change, your phone bill's not gonna change, your car payment's not gonna change, your car insurance not gonna change. I'm pretty sure your internet's not gonna change. The things that's gonna change is like your food, your utilities, like your power and water. Those things are gonna fluctuate every month, and also your other, right? Your gym ain't gonna change either, but your other. These are controllable things. Man, cut them lights off when you're not in the room. You know, that $15 you save that month add up over the or $12. Let's say you save $12 a month on your light bill. That's $144 at the end of the year. 12 times 12, right? Let's say on your other you cut out $100. That's another $1,200 you save by the end of the year. So there's ways to cut back and save money. And you know I even put on there all the streaming things we have: Netflix, Hulu, Prime. I didn't even put that on there. You can really add that with your internet, and that can even take it to like $150. We know these streaming services going crazy now, right? So everywhere you look, somebody looking to take your money. Everywhere you turn left and right, somebody looking to take your money. And so it's just very important that, number one, we're gonna recap. Number one, that you write this down. All right, man. Let me break out an old school piece of paper and pen. How much money am I actually bringing in after tax, right? And it's right now, you don't even need to worry about head of household when it comes to like income tax and all that, because there's a way you can negate even having to pay income tax and all that. But that's a whole separate. That's too detailed right now. All you need to worry about is how much I got coming out after taxes consistently, right? On average, every week. If you're working 50 hours at this pay amount, you should have X amount of dollars every week. When you add those 4 paychecks up, because on average, every month, there's typically 4 weeks in a month, right? Some months have 5. I think two months out the year have 5 months. But on average, you can add those 4 paychecks up, and then they give you your income. Then you just slide on over to your expenses. Just write them down. Again, I gave you great examples. But again, like I said, it's going to be things that don't even show up in this list, like Netflix, Hulu. Man, you might want to smoke, right? Liquor might be on here. You see what I'm saying? Like whatever your vice is. Again, that's not even accounted for. So whatever you spend your money, you have to put it over here so you can see it. Don't lie to yourself. Put it down. That way you can literally see what you have going on, like where your money being sent to, where your money being spent. And then once you kind of write those down and average them up, just put a total at the bottom, right? Once you add everything up, say, all right, this is how much I'm spending every month on average. And then you just minus the 2. You say, all right, I got 3,500 minus $4,000. I'm in a whole 500. Damn, what I got to do to make that up? Either I'm gonna cut back something here, or you got to make more money, or you got to find out how to make $500 extra. Either you got to work more at the job, or you're going to pick up another gig, like a side hustle or something like that. But I would say, number one, because here's the thing. If you can't control this, it don't matter how much money you make. And this is one thing, too. I'm going to put y'all on game, right? This is one thing I learned. Listen, if you can't control $1 in your left pocket, you can't control 100 in your right pocket. If you can't control 100 in your left pocket, you can't control 1,000 in your right pocket, and so on and so forth. So it don't matter how much money you make. I gave y'all the example about the guy making $200,000 a year, and he coming in asking to borrow $2,500. Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? But it's because he didn't know how to control his money. So I say it again just to say, look, control this. Control your expenses. Understand where your money's going first before you try to run up a bag. You know what I mean? Understand what it's at and then control that. Figure out how you can cut back here and live in your means first and then run it up. Because if this is higher than this, or you up, then we can start talking about investments. We can start talking about stocks. We can start talking about, running your 401k up and different investments. Then we can talk about that. But you ain't even there yet, right? I can't wait to talk about 401k, and many people want to retire. That's a whole nother ball game. Like, how do you even, attempt to retire? How do you put yourself in position? But first, we got to work on this, just the regular budget. You see what I'm saying? We got to work on the basics. So anyway, I hope this helped you guys. And again, I'll watch it. So maybe y'all want to pause a snapshot or something real quick. But I hope this video helped you guys with the basics. Man, please drop a comment below if something wasn't clear. I'd love to clear it up, and hopefully that it can help you guys along the way, along your journey with starting to become more financially savvy and getting your life together, controlling your finances. And I'm gonna tell you what, like I said in the earlier part of the video, it saved my life. I've showed many people how to budget just on paper. It has changed their life because once you figure out what's really going on in black and white, and you can't lie to yourself no more, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. Now it's just putting action behind it to actually not be lazy and put the work in and become disciplined with just managing your finances. Because again, if you can manage your money, you can manage your life. And so that's the video for today, man. Drop a comment below, hit a like on the video, subscribe to the Husband Code. I can't wait to drop more financial videos on help the men out there, to help the husbands out there, to help the aspiring husbands to really, start to lead their family. Because again, this is leadership. This isn't just for you. Like your wife, your girl, they got to be able to trust that you know how to manage the bag. That, hey, you controlling your money, so now you can get her that new car, right? That she gonna want. Then she can get that ring she want, right? Y'all going on that vacation y'all want to go on to, right? This is what's gonna make, you have your wife follow a plan, right? She want a happy man, she got to follow a plan. But do you got a plan? Do you have a plan? This is part of the plan. So again, I appreciate y'all tuning in to the video. Subscribe to the Husband Code if you like the content. And until next time, like I said, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.